shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
And at 4:30 this morning, it's a little bit of a wake-up call just north of Wake County. We'll show you how these storms progress and what we expect the rest of the day coming up.
And funding for our local schools. It's a fiasco. Wake County school leaders gathering to address the ongoing budget challenges they're having. Next up, the pressure board members face after a federal funding freeze.
And out on bond, a man accused of injuring another man is out of jail today. This morning, the information we know about the shooting investigation. A lot to tell you about here at 4:30 on this Tuesday morning as we get your day started. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Jeff Hogan. We're getting it rolling here together. A little light show out there in the overnight hours in some areas. Yeah, some lightning out there. Chris Michael's over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. We see why now.
Exactly. It's a little bit of a wake-up call, right? Especially if you're in Creedmoor. So hopefully you were planning to get up this early. We appreciate you doing so. Nothing severe here, okay? It's not causing damage. It's just a little more of an inconvenience. Youngsville seeing that downpour moving up toward Lewisburg. Areas like Bahama in the northern part of Durham County, all that moving west to east. Still a bit of a light show in Roanoke Rapids just to the east of Lake Gaston, where showers and storms trying to move into Caswell County and Person County. Those are weakening. So we'll hold on to that 30 to 40% coverage through about 6 or 7 a.m. Chances will be low up until 1 p.m. and then another round of scattered storms heading into the afternoon. New this morning, 40% chance of development along the Gulf Coast. Again, no direct impact to us from that system. It just may send a little bit of mugginess our way, and it already is muggy without that. 78 in Durham, Holly Springs 74, Garner and Fayetteville at 75 with temperatures today in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. I'm going to show you what's causing this repetitive scattered stormy pattern coming up.
Wake County School Board members will be working around the clock for hours today. In just a few hours, actually, they'll attend a retreat and discuss several issues. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us now as school leaders are expected to discuss these ongoing budget challenges they face. Kelsey.
Yes, Jeff, today, hopefully parents will be able to find out more about how the district is going to handle this budget issue. We're going to hear from Superintendent Robert Taylor later today here at Wake School headquarters, and he'll talk about how they plan to move forward with more than $30 million in federal funding cuts. So check out this list of services that would be impacted by this. These cuts affect everything from teacher training to support for immigrant students. The district could face even more funding cuts because we're still waiting to find out how much money they'll receive from the state. The state superintendent spoke yesterday about the impacts parents may notice next school year.
They may see, for example, a particular classroom that existed last year that may not exist this year. They may not see some of the professional development activities that are done behind the scenes to prepare new teachers, but that may result in those teachers not being fully prepared to support students when they arrive.
Now, coming up in the next half hour, you'll hear from WRAL education insider Emily Walkenhorst about where all of these federal funding cuts are actually coming from. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
WRAL will follow today's conversation on school funding throughout the day. Be sure to tune in to WRAL's evening news starting at 4 p.m.
Kinston Police Department is facing some tough questions this morning. A video surfaced showing a Kinston police officer punching an 18-year-old several times. I want to warn you, this is disturbing to watch. The video was shot by a bystander on Sunday just off South Tiffany Street, and the teen gets punched twice before other officers then arrive and help hold him down. The teen says he blacked out and suffered a seizure while being detained.
You feel all that weight on you, you can't really tell what's going on with your body.
I do want justice, though. I really do. Because that right there don't make no sense. It really don't.
Kinston police say the department is aware of the incident and they're investigating. According to warrants, the officer was responding to a breaking and entering call. Police claim the teen, among other things, refused to comply with the officer's orders. The teen is facing charges of resisting a public officer and communicating threats.
New this morning, a man accused in a Rocky Mount shooting is out of jail on bond. Police say 26-year-old Daquan Johnson turned himself in at the Edgecombe County Jail yesterday. He's accused of shooting 29-year-old Reggie Joyner on West Raleigh Boulevard early Sunday morning. Joyner is expected to recover. That shooting was one of 3 that happened in Rocky Mount over the weekend. No arrests have been made in a shooting that left 2 people dead on Virginia Street a little before 3 Sunday morning. 19-year-old Rio Steele and 20-year-old Loren Dickens were killed.
There have also been no arrests in a shooting that happened outside Buffalo Wild Wings on Ring Road Saturday night. 29-year-old Justin Kentrez was injured. If you have information about any of the shootings, you're asked to call Rocky Mount Police. A 17-year-old is facing 3 charges connected to a drive-by shooting that left 1 man injured. Creedmoor police say they received a tip about the owner of this truck. It was used in the shooting near Harris Park Sunday afternoon. The teen is charged with assault with a deadly weapon, inflicting serious injury, and possession of a firearm by a minor. The man who was shot is out of surgery now.
This morning, the man charged with killing UNC student Faith Hedgepeth will be in court on new charges. Miguel Enrique Salguero Oliveras is charged with drug-related offenses while in jail. They include possession of meth and possession with the intent to distribute meth. Salguero Oliveras is currently serving time for Hedgepeth's 2012 murder.
The SBI is looking for a man connected to a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme. A Raleigh man and his brother are accused of operating at least 2 businesses that claim to sell antique cars online. Officials say the 2 collected at least $3 million from interested buyers without delivering a vehicle. Valentin Burlizanu was arrested on Sunday in Pender County, and his brother Vasile was still wanted.
A man is dead after a medical emergency on the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sunday afternoon, dispatchers got a call about a park visitor in medical distress. Park rangers and EMS found Muhammad Sultan of South Carolina having medical complications. He was given CPR. Sultan died while on his way to the hospital.
4 people, including 2 children, were in the hospital after a plane crash in Florida. New video shows the moment the small plane crashed into a neighborhood. It happened Sunday night in Pembroke Pines, just north of Miami. According to the FAA, 4 people were on board that plane. All of them made it out alive and were taken to a nearby hospital. 2 of the people on board were minors, ages 16 and 13. The cause of that crash is under investigation. The Kids Exchange Consignment Sale is underway. It's at the Jim Graham Building on the State Fairgrounds in Raleigh. The event features high-quality, gently worn kids' clothing, toys, shoes, furniture, and much more, all at discount prices. Sellers can drop off their items over the next 2 days, and volunteers get to shop tomorrow. There's a private sale Thursday, and then the public gets to come in for free on the sales Friday through Sunday. Out of nowhere, a car barreled into a local restaurant. We'll have a look at the surveillance video showing the shocking impact there.
Deadly delay. New details are raising questions after the deadly flooding at a Texas summer camp.
And we give you this live look. Fenton in Cary, good morning to you. Meteorologist Chris Michaels joins us after the break with a look at our storm chances coming today.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
441 will give you a live look at Franklinton as we see some showers moving into the western part of Franklin County. Heavy rain over Creedmoor. We'll have to watch out for maybe a little bit of localized flooding as that's been moving over your area for a little bit. A new downpour over Falls Lake right on the Durham and Wake County line, and another shower there in Youngsville heading up toward Lewisburg. Bahama getting some downpours as well. Roanoke Rapids getting woken up by this storm. It's going to gradually start to move closer to Emporia on the Virginia side of things. Now, today's flood risk a little bit lower than yesterday. Not really expecting any organized severe thunderstorms in terms of wind damage, so at least some good news there. Heading into the afternoon, we'll still see some scattered storms. Temperatures peaking between 87 and 91. We'll show you the timeline for more storms coming up.
Chris, thank you. The North Carolina Zoo's director and CEO has died. According to the Asheboro Zoo, Pat Simmons died after a nearly 5-year battle with cancer. In a Facebook post, the zoo says her legacy in the zoo community will carry on through those she touched throughout her lifetime. Simmons had been the zoo's director and CEO since 2015.
A family of 4 was remembered this week after being killed in a plane crash. The funeral service for the Buchanan family began with this 2-mile-long procession right along Broadway Road in Sanford. Tractors joined that lineup as a testament to the Buchanan family farm, which is well known in that area. A week ago, Sky 5 flew over that debris after the crash in a field near the Raleigh Executive Jetport in Sanford. According to the NTSB, the pilot reported engine and communication problems before the crash.
New information this morning on the alerts sent during the deadly Texas floods. We're learning that Camp Mystic officials received a severe flooding alert from the National Weather Service more than an hour before evacuation started. According to the Washington Post, the first alert was sent out to the director just before 1:15 a.m. on July 4th. It did not include an evacuation order. According to reports, staff started moving campers around 2:30 a.m. The National Weather Service issued a second, more dire warning at 4 a.m., telling people to move to higher ground immediately. 27 campers and counselors died.
A new study released this week from UNC Chapel Hill reveals flooding in North Carolina is, quote, far more common and more widespread than previously recognized. That's what was determined by this research. The team created maps for more than 70 previously unmapped flood areas, linking them to exact locations of buildings. The study found over 20,000 buildings flooded several times between 1996 and 2020 in a portion of the state where many were not covered by flood insurance. It's a 7,000% increase from FEMA's record of repetitively flooded properties. 43% of them were located outside areas officially recognized as high risk by FEMA.
This morning, we have the security video showing the moment a car crashed into a Sampson County restaurant. This happened at Hall's Grill on Haines Stretch Road in Roseboro. The car was going fast enough to crash through the cinder block wall of the restaurant and push a large beverage cooler across the floor. We spoke with the owner, Cynthia Hall. She says it will cost at least $70,000 to repair all that damage. But there was one silver lining. No one was hurt.
I just thank God that we were closed yesterday. We're closed on Sunday and Mondays. And I just want to thank God that we were closed and there was nobody in that grill to get hurt.
What a relief there. Hall says she and her husband own the building. They don't have insurance, though, to cover the damage. She also says they do plan to rebuild.
Cancer is getting younger. That's a grim statistic WRAL recently investigated in the documentary Diagnosis Young, the new face of cancer in NC. At 32 years of age, this Johnston County woman never thought she would have to hear the words, "You have cancer." WRAL health reporter Grace Haba shares her message to others.
Too young for cancer. At least that's what Wendy Maltzby thought.
About February of 2022, I started what I thought was just a regular menstrual cycle.
But after multiple trips to urgent care and symptoms lasting more than 2 months, she knew it wasn't just a regular cycle.
I was in my office at work and I was so weak that I couldn't even walk to my car.
Wendy finally went to the ER. She had lost so much blood she needed a transfusion and was scheduled for a biopsy.
On a Friday morning, he calls me and he says, you know, I'm so sorry, but you do have cancer. I mean, I was in complete shock. I wanted nobody to know because I felt like I had, you know, an elderly person's disease.
Women aren't usually diagnosed with endometrial cancer until their 60s, according to the American Cancer Society. But one of Wendy's doctors shares the number of young patients she sees is growing.
In the United States, it's anticipated that about 70,000 women will have a diagnosis of uterine cancer this year, and almost 14,000 women will die. These issues in totality, they cannot be ignored. We need to do something. It's a serious call for action.
It's why Wendy says she will keep speaking out to let others know cancer is real and it can happen to you.
It's an epidemic. And I know that there are other people in my shoes. I know a lot more people are going to be diagnosed in the coming years, and they need to know that they're not alone, that this is not their fault.
was Grace Habel reporting. WRAL's Diagnosis Young, the new face of cancer in NC, dives deeper into these kinds of cases affecting our young adults. You can watch that full documentary right now by going to WRAL.com.
The Wake County Animal Center is at critical capacity. The center is currently caring for nearly 250 dogs, 7 puppies, 61 cats, and more than 200 kittens. To ease overcrowding, the center is waiving adoption fees for animals who've been on the adoption floor for 15 days or more. The special runs through Sunday.
448 right now, and just to our north, we have some rumblings you can see on radar, and Chris Michaels is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. Is this producing much? It looks impressive.
It does, yeah. A lot of heavy rain, especially in areas like Creedmoor, although the lightning count has come down. At least some good news if you're trying to catch up on sleep in Granville County. Falls Lake starting out with a downpour right on the Durham and Wake County line. Youngsville seeing that heavy rain. That's going to shift northeast toward Lewisburg and Franklinton. And a light show in Roanoke Rapids as well. That continues to move north and east toward Emporia. So over the next 1 to 2 hours, we'll see a gradual thinning in the amount of rain. So planning around that, a few showers this morning, highs near 90 this afternoon, and then the return of scattered showers and storms late afternoon into the evening with a lower flood risk than yesterday. So here's 11 a.m. and we're mostly dry. Can't rule out a stray shower, but the wind arrows coming in off the Atlantic, feeding us with some moisture. So you get these typical zones of storminess, one of which is in the mountains, another near the coast, and then as air flows out from both of those regions, you get scattered storms here developing late afternoon into the evening. Some of those may last in the northern half of the area from Wake County northward, heading toward midnight, and then after midnight tonight, we'll see a gradual weakening in any of those showers. Meanwhile, as we head toward the Gulf Coast now, 40% chance of development. National Hurricane Center investigating this, so we have those first rounds of spaghetti plots that take it well to our south and west. It's still helping to bring in some of that tropical moisture. You step outside this morning, just kind of hits you. The dew point at 75, that's close to the top of the chart, even for our area. So that's going to lead to a heat index in the upper 90s today. Then as we go through the rest of the week, the heat index climbs. It starts to feel like 104 to potentially 107 by the weekend. So this forecast pretty much on rinse and repeat. Daily chance of scattered afternoon and evening storms as we turn hotter heading into the weekend with high temperatures each afternoon, about 95 degrees.
Thanks, Chris. Making a comeback, Zebulon's former town manager has plans to run for mayor. His step back into the spotlight months after resigning from his former position.
Plus, a sweet surprise here. Neil Diamond brings the crowd to its feet in an unexpected appearance. That is ahead in our Hollywood Minute.
Happening today, Zebulon's former town manager will formally launch his campaign for mayor. Gilbert Todd will speak at the Zebulon Rotary Club at 6 p.m. He plans to talk about why he's running and his vision for the town. In April, Todd and assistant town manager Kellyanne Williams resigned within 4 days of each other. You only have a few hours left to buy a raffle ticket to name one of the Durham Museum of Life and Sciences pups. The 3 Red Wolf brothers were born back in May. The raffle tickets are on sale until noon today. One ticket is $30. You can buy 5 for $140 and 10 for $270. 3 winners will be selected at random, and each will get to name one pup. Good luck.
You just watch them all day. Amazon just set a new sales record. The online retailer says 2025 was the biggest Prime Day event ever, with more than $24 billion in sales. And here's why. I mean, Prime Day lasted 4 days this year for the first time. The most common purchases included kids' apparel, home security products, and school supplies. Good times never seemed so good. That was the quote for one theater audience member in Los Angeles recently. David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
A surprise appearance by Neil Diamond. The legendary singer-songwriter showed up at a Hollywood performance of A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical, and led the audience in a rendition of his 1969 hit, Sweet Caroline. Diamond announced his retirement 7 years ago, revealing he'd been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Andrew Garfield is re-teaming with Luca Guadagnino. The actor has joined the cast of Guadagnino's Artificial, described as a comedic drama set in the world of artificial intelligence. Garfield recently worked with the filmmaker on After the Hunt, which is due in theaters October 10th.
The total for Summer Games Done Quick 2025 is $2,436,614.
That's how much the latest Games Done Quick video game speedrunning marathon raised for Doctors Without Borders. This year's event was held in Minneapolis. All of the runs are archived on the Games Done Quick YouTube channel. Leveling Up in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
4:56, landmark on fire. 2 wildfires near the Grand Canyon are forcing hundreds of evacuations. Why the park let them burn for days without an aggressive attack.
The damage adds up. A new report reveals how costly the recent flooding was in Chapel Hill.
Plus, tracking inflation. 5 on your sides, Keely Arthur looks at which prices remain stable and which ones are heating up.